You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. These be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. Whenever she calls, know what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of full. Yeah, tell me what I gotta do. Pull up in a bucket crew, one for me and one for you. Yeah, like with the roof. I'm off the chain, don't cut me loose. Yeah, I'm off the chain, I'm off the noose. Yeah, getting picked off Bentley white like cotton. Residential so good, my doors don't gotta lock 'em. Watch the dirty money with oxy. I miscount cause I'm off yeah, these bigger than a damn proxy. Call my he said copy. Get that plug like a boogie. I like riches, hit like nookies. You ain't scared of no, but you scared to put on your hoodie. Man, my like Woody. I just scraped it off the top, cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. Whenever she calls, know what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of full.
Toys, convoy, 100 carats on my neck, my boy. That 100 bunny rabbits tryna get my boy. From the cabbage I collect, my boy. Heard you is gorillas, let me check, my boy. Say nothing silly, you regret, my boy. Cause we got banana on the my boy. And I can send it in a text, my boy. Thumbs up or the emoji with the flex, my boy. Personalize every threat, my boy. Toll free. That's direct, my boy. And if you need a couple, I'm the connect, my boy. Off the top.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. Whenever she calls, know what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of full.
It's that hate, boy.
Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it here, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. 22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And off we go from Cleveland. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play. Well, there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's Hill, complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, they were advancing the ball. They had a couple 1st downs under their belt, but a big mistake there on the opening drive leads to 6 points the other direction.
And what a good read that was on his part, Brandon, because it prevents a possible scoring drive with how they were moving things along. And it gives the defense the early advantage of what's going to be a definitely entertaining battle between these units.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run again with Harris. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 40-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends. And what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel. Right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
Back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Sean Murphy-Bunting. When I looked at it, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Harris running straight ahead. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this 1st half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Working with a 2nd and 4. To throw is Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. Completes it to Hunt. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Watson now to throw. Buying time to his left. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 21-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
And it's still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They hand this off to Harris. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now, 3-score lead, still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-0. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw here. Rolling to his left. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And he goes out right around the 39. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up second down. Well, another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in his first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
They'll look to throw again. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 9 yards, and they're going to have a third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Now back to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Browns drive about to get started. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run it again with Chubb. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Watson off play action. Out to his left. Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And so we're into maneuver. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
They're in a good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it is 28-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A give to Harris.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They lost 2, and it brings up 4.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Steelers send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The trick play works. Excellent execution, 18 yards on that fake and a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And they move this all the way down to the 9. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. On 2nd down, this is Harris. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. This opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And again, it's Chubb. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Up the middle, it's Chubb. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
The Browns send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Here's Austin. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.